Now, the top of the hour on the Progressive Voices channel on TuneIn presents the Green News Report.
My room was right here. And, right here was where my door was.
Tornadoes, wildfires, and dust storms wreak havoc across central and southern U.S.
It most assuredly will affect the availability, the frequency, and the accuracy, honestly, of the warnings.
Trump administration mass firings endanger accuracy of weather forecasts. Plus, Trump Interior Department rescinds vital permits for New Jersey offshore wind project.
All of those ridiculous stories and more straight ahead. From BradBlog.com, I'm Brad Friedman.
And I'm Desi Doyen.
Stand by for 6 minutes of independent green news, politics, analysis, and snarky comment.
Before we get to Elon, can you believe Canada tried to shut off our electricity? I mean, it's almost like they want us to invade.
It's almost as if Fox News wants us to invade under a Republican president. Again. This is your Green News Report. Okay, Desi Doyen, before the next war begins, what do you got for us today?
Well, heartbreaking news. As we go to air, more than 40 people have been killed in a monster storm that left a trail of destruction across 8 states in the central and southern parts of the U.S. over the weekend. The brutal system generated a multi-pronged extreme weather onslaught. Dozens of deadly tornadoes across the south, blinding dust storms caused fatal mass highway pileups in Texas and Kansas. More than 130 wildfires whipped by hurricane-force winds across Oklahoma's parched landscape. Studies show that climate change, driven by the burning of fossil fuels, is altering the environment in which severe thunderstorms and tornadoes form, intensifying atmospheric volatility. Studies also show that tornado outbreaks are getting larger and more frequent, including an increase in dangerous nighttime tornadoes.
You don't say.
In other news, the Trump administration has launched another round of mass firings and budget cuts at NOAA, the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration.
Another round?
Yes, and the National Weather Service, severely straining both agencies' ability to handle such large-scale weather disasters, even as climate change worsens them.
Brilliant.
As of Friday, about 20% of NOAA's staff is laid off, gone, including hundreds of scientists and meteorologists. Dozens of local weather forecast offices are slated for closure, with tornado season underway and hurricane season fast approaching. Here's former NOAA Administrator Dr. Rick Spinrad on CBS News.
There's a big capital expense associated with that. Airplanes, radars, satellites. Who's going to pick those up? And we don't have the capability to sustain or replace those. I think at some point people are going to recognize we need these capabilities for the public good, which after all is the role of government. The question is, how much damage will we sustain before we're able to turn around the damage that's already been done?
Good question, isn't it?
Yep. In the Financial Times, the insurance sector is warning that mass firings at key federal science agencies threatens the public weather and geospatial data that the industry uses to manage natural disaster risks, potentially raising prices for consumers. CNN reports that the oceans are currently undergoing profound, unexplained changes impacting the nation's fisheries, but the Trump administration has fired the scientists working to understand those changes, which experts say could not come at a worse time.
Oh, well, we'll never know.
At the Environmental Protection Agency, an internal memo obtained by the New York Times directs the closure of offices responsible for addressing the disproportionately high levels of heavy pollution faced by poor and minority communities living near industrial facilities, who have much higher rates of cancers, asthma, heart disease, and more compared with the national average.
Yeah, but helping them would be DEI.
In a similar vein, the Trump administration recently denied a disaster recovery funding request from Asheville, North Carolina for Hurricane Helene damage until the city cut out a program intended to boost participation by female and minority contractors. Finally, in a big blow to New Jersey's economy, the Trump EPA has invalidated a critical permit for an offshore wind farm granted 6 months ago, citing Donald Trump's Inauguration Day executive order freezing all permitting for such projects. Construction on the Atlantic Shores project cannot begin now without additional review and approval by the agency. Again, that permit was granted 6 months ago. Experts warn the abrupt cancellation will kill thousands of local wind energy manufacturing jobs and likely chill investment in the U.S. for all types of infrastructure.
Making America great again. See ya in court. For much more on all of these stories and the ones we couldn't get to today, check out our website at greennews.bradblog.com. I'm Brad Friedman.
And I'm Desi Doyen.
And this has been your Green News Report.
PV brings you the best progressive audio and video in one free stream. Stephanie Miller, Tom Hartman, Randy Rhodes, David Packman, Brad Friedman, and more. Search Progressive Voices on the TuneIn app. Download the free Progressive Voices app or go to progressivevoices.com.